what is really happening in the incubator landscape in India. Honestly, being in the other side, driving the ecosystems over the last decade, we've seen the last 3 years especially a sea of change. What really happens, in an incubation program, right? Of course, every incubator has its own USP. They run their programs differently, but at a broad general overview, what is it that a startup can expect? The most important part is how to crack an incubation opportunity, right? What do incubators look for in a startup?
So, to give you a context of Atal Innovation Mission, we are housed at Niti Aayog, and that's done specifically to make sure that we are an interministerial body, have been set up by the mandate of the Prime Minister's office, and so that we are set up at Niti Aayog so that we can work with various ministries. There's no you're that ministry, therefore I can't touch you kind of a thing here. And the idea is to be able to make the innovation and entrepreneurship system very, very inclusive, mature, efficient. And there are so many programs in India led by different ministries, whether it is a central government or the state government or the local government, that run programs on innovation, entrepreneurship, incubation. The idea is to be able to have all the moving parts talk to each other and catalyze the entire innovation. And that is a larger mandate that has been given to Atal Innovation Mission. And while we are trying to do that, we are fairly young. We are only about 4 years old. And in the past 3 years' time, what we have done is we've created a series of institutions on the ground. We have created an anchor for ourselves. So, and these institutions are across the innovation life cycle. So right from the stage where a person realizes that there is a problem and then thinks of creating a solution for that problem. We catch hold of innovators fairly young. Our first program is Atal Tinkering Labs, which is for school students. We have supported close to more than 5,000, 6,000 tinkering labs across the length and breadth of the country, which gives the students, training on 21st century skill sets to be able to give them the confidence and the platform to become innovators. So we give them tools and then we give them training to think about how they can innovate, things like the problem solving, structured problem solving, design thinking abilities, various modules to give them the latest, give them an understanding of the latest frontier technologies like modules on AI, drones, gaming on mobile, gaming, so on and so forth. The next series of institutions we've created are business incubators, more than 60, 65 incubators, again, across the length and breadth of the country, specializing in different areas, which help startups to scale up and become sustainable, and give them that entire 360-degree approach, which is 360-degree support, which is needed to ensure the mortality rate of the startups and make sure that they sustain themselves and go the right path. We'll talk about a little bit more detail about it later. The third set of institutions that we are in the process of building are Atal Community Innovation Centers, because incubators are a little more sophisticated and need a much larger ecosystem to survive. They cannot penetrate in the interiors, or they cannot go in the interiors of the country, and therefore to take the innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystem in the rural areas, unserved and underserved regions of the country, we have come up with Atal Community Innovation Centers, which will be something between tinkering labs and full-fledged incubators. And they might have, they'll have maker spaces, but they'll do a lot of training around how to become entrepreneurs, what's the journey like, what are the, how do you develop a product, again, design thinking and things like that. But when, and they'll be open for communities. Anyone can walk in and start using the makerspace there, so on and so forth. So these are the institutions that we are building. There are also some finance schemes that we have where we provide funding directly to innovators. What we do is there are two sets of challenges. We have ARISE and ENIC. ENIC is Atal New India Challenges, and ARISE is Atal Applied Research and Innovation for Small Enterprises, which is focused on bringing about innovation for the MSME sector of the country, which really needs a support right now. In both these programs, we actually work with the ministries. We take the challenges from them. For example, we've Ministry of Railways, Ministry of Agriculture, ISRO, so on and so forth. They give us the challenges. We put them in the open domain. We invite academicians, researchers, innovators, startups, and MSMEs to respond to those challenges. And then there is a proper jury process where the representatives from the ministries are also a part of this jury. And the winners are then given a grant of up to 50 lakhs or 1 crore in a phased approach, in a phased manner, in multiple tranches. But the idea is to get the ministries to be able to pilot the innovation that is being developed by this innovator. And the government itself faces a lot of challenges in its service delivery, and through these programs, we want to reach out to those innovators to engage with the startup ecosystem and absorb the innovation and try and see how the government can improve upon its service delivery. You would have also heard of the IDEX program, which is Innovation for Defense. And it is currently in the 4th round right now, where it's invited the applications for challenges the 4th time. And it has matured so much that the winners who go through the IDEX process can actually sell their solutions to the defense forces. That kind of change has been brought in the procurement system of the defense forces. So what we are trying to do here at Atal Innovation Mission is really trying to get the government system and the machinery to talk to the innovators and engage with the startup ecosystem. And the people at Atal Innovation Mission, the entire team is very well versed or belongs or has been working with the startup ecosystem, and therefore we understand the language of both the sides. And our job is to be that translate the language being used by the government for the startups and vice versa.